Attention. Bow. Coming. Student attendance. Begin. Honor. Courtesy. Integrity. Perseverance. Self-control. Courage. Community. After me. Jimmy. All right, so what I want you guys to do for a warm-up today is we're going to do a pyramid drill. So you know how they build a pyramid. They start at the bottom with a very large, and then they go to the top, which is very small. So from a larger number to a smaller number. So we're going to start on one side of the floor, and we're going to start whichever space you have. You know, you're going to run across. You're going to do 10 squats. Then you're going to run back across and do 9 and 8, all the way down to 1. Okay, well, 0 actually. Okay, does that make sense to everybody? All right, now, if you are at home, you don't have enough space to run across, in between each set of squats, just do about 10 jumping jacks, just to get a little bit of cardio in between. All right? Find it? A copy. All right.
Not B copy, but A copy.
Thank you, sir.
Go.
All right, open this up so I can watch it, and begin. Like I said, if you don't have enough space, you can just do jumping jacks in between, about 10. And there you go. See, Lynette was on there. Where did she go? Did she just disappear, Mr. Barrett?
What was that?
Lynette, she was on there. She just kind of disappeared.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
It's all right. All right, yeah, keep it up. I do it with you, but I've done this twice already today. My legs hurt. There you go. Take a look here. That's a short one. All right, almost through there. You know, just for time's sake, if you want, you can do about 5 jumping jacks. Should be fine. Don't have to do 10. All right, almost through. About halfway now, actually, because you're at 5. Someone on that side?
No.
Ah, thought you were talking to someone.
All right, well, I'm gonna do it or I recorded. You're welcome to either go over to Jackson or did you send it over here?
No.
You're welcome to go over here if you want. By this point, I don't see anybody hopping on. So I'm just gonna be recording for stuff. You're welcome to do whatever you want.
All right, good deal. All right, so from there, open this back up to speaker view. And arm circles forward.
All right, we're gonna start in. Go ahead.
And I don't know why it switched my view on it backwards. I didn't tell it to do that. Okay.
All right, so let's start off with one more thing. What I want you to do is
And hugs.
we're gonna do combat. We're gonna do combat. And what it is a 2-minute challenge.
All right, going up and down.
There are gonna be 2 exercises. And
Hands on the hips. Then we're gonna do the hip side to side.
All right, jumping jacks and squats. So you're gonna take. We're gonna do 10. Okay. We're gonna start at 10. We're gonna see how
Circles.
all right, so you're gonna do 10 jumping jacks.
Then you're gonna do 10 squats. And then you're gonna go to 9 jumping jacks, 9 squats.
Yeah, the other direction.
And then 8 to 7 to 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2. Go. We got 2 minutes to do it, and your goal is to get as far as you can. All right? So 2 minutes and begin.
Rotate the knees. Other direction. All right, from here, what we're gonna do is we're kind of gonna do a variation on a lunging stretch. So we're gonna go to one side. We bend the knee, the back foot comes up on the toes. If you like, you can kind of put your hands on your knee if you need to. You don't necessarily have to. And we're just gonna kind of push this leg into the ground. Like we're gonna dig our toes in as we. So it's a lighter stretch. Not gonna do anything too strenuous today, so no point in doing strenuous exercise. Now the other side. Mr. Barrett's looking at me funny. I don't know how I feel about it.
You were looking at me first, sir. I was just returning the favor.
From here, we're gonna put our feet apart. And hands come down in the middle, and we're just gonna put it out as wide as possible.
Some you don't have to go as fast as me, but go to your pace. So your goal is to beat the clock. You have 30 seconds. Your goal is to beat the clock.
All right, then go ahead and have a seat, feet wide. Hands behind the head, side to side.
Three, 2, 1, and okay. So real quick.
And last stretch, butterfly.
If you ever complete it, great job. If not, that's perfectly fine. Now you know where you stand. Now you know where you're at. Just now you want to get better. So for example, start at 10. Say you made it only to 5. Well, now your goal is to get to 4 or to 3. Okay? If you got to 2, then you only got a couple more left. Try to keep that.
And stand up.
So work your way down. All right? Go ahead and start down.
All right. So from here, what we're gonna do for our first drill today is we're gonna go over a couple different techniques with our new cycles form. Our new cycles form is called Do-san. Do-san. This was my green belt form coming up through the ranks when I was younger, but now it's a kind of an everybody form. We just kind of separate it into parts for the different belt levels. So for our first drill, we're gonna take a move out of the beginning section, and that's stepping forward and doing back fist. Then we're gonna do our across the floor drill. We're gonna start on one side, or whichever space that you guys have. Starting a good front stance here with your back fist up. Step forward, chamber the hand on the top, and back fist. Back fist. Back fist. Just like that, going down and back about, I don't know, 2 or 3 times or so. Okay? Give that a try. Do it with me. Start with one leg in the front, doesn't matter which. Back fist, step, back fist, step, back fist, step, back fist. Locking out that back leg to make nice, good front stances. Let's take a look here. Step through. Good, bend that front knee, girl. Back leg straight, front knee back. Now 1 second, freeze for a second, August. Can you do your front stance one more time? I want to check something. Okay, so when we do a front stance, we want our feet to be the width of our feet, not the length, but our width to be shoulders. So what I want you to do is find your shoulder width apart So wherever that is, and then take that one foot or the other and directly step it exactly forward, and that's where it needs to be. Right now, I feel like you're stepping a little too far in, and it's making your body turn a little too sideways, but we want it to be forward, hence the name front stance. Everything should be forward. If we step this foot in too much, it turns our body. Does that make sense? Okay. So go ahead and find that real quick, and if you don't know where it is, I can tell you because I can see you. There. Oh, you see how you took your back foot and moved it? Just take one foot and step it directly forward. And then you stepped a little bit too far. Bring it back some. And take your front foot and move it towards the side where your dad is. Now turn your hips forward. There you go. Turn your back foot forward just a little bit more. Right there. Now bend that front knee. That's a much better front stance. Okay? Smaller detail there, small detail. And it's going to be uncomfortable. Taekwondo is pretty effective and strong. There's nowhere in there that says it has to be comfortable. Okay? All right. So let's do something different now. Let's switch gears. Bring this back to speaker view. So from here for this next one, instead of doing back fist, we're going to add a spear hand. Now, when we do this in the form, it's actually spear hand first, back fist afterwards. But for sake of the drill that I want to do, we're going to do spear hand or stretch it, back fist first, and then spear hand second. And you'll see what I'm talking about when we get into that section later on. So this is what it's going to look like. Starting on one side, step through, back fist, reach, spear hand, and repeat. Back fist, spear hand. Back fist, spear hand. Going down and back. Okay, does that make sense? Yes? No? I'm gonna say that's yes. You're like this big right now on my screen. All right. Begin, give it a try. Stepping through, back fist, spear hand.
So everything is slow for a little bit. So first of all, okay, working on where your hands are. You really want to.
Let's take a look.
Now, once you get that down, once you get your hand down, and you get it, and you're landing into the front hand, what I want you to do is then try to work on landing them both at the same time. Okay?
And we got it. Make sure we have good chambers here. So chamber nice and tight.
Cool.
Back fist.
I want you to stay there.
Mommy, give me money. Spear hand.
And as your feet.
Yes, got to make sure we have those little details. It makes all the difference. Chamber here for the back fist. Mommy, give me money. And then she said no, so I'm going to take my fingers and reach into her purse anyway. I would not suggest to do that. It would not be a good idea. Just trying to relate the motions somehow. Don't be looking at me like that, Mr. Barrett. You know I teach in metaphors and similes.
I know that, but you were looking at me first again.
No, making stuff up.
Oh, okay, whatever you say, sir.
Now, hold on. So what you do is we're here, we're going to do that for one.
Good job. Very good. Very good. Okay. Not bad. You know, if we can get through everything, you know, we may kind of cut this a little bit short since it's just you. So from here, moving on, let's now get into the next drill. So from here, we're going to come back to a back fist, but we're actually going to spin. So the spinning back fist, let me open this back up to speaker view for a moment. So the spinning back fist, how this works, it's going to be a little bit weird because we're used to doing this as far as a drill. We usually do it on a pad. It used to be a sparring thing, but then that became too dangerous, so we got away from doing it in sparring. And it's usually from a back stance position this way. But For this particular drill in the form, we want it to be from a front stance position because that's the way it works in the form. So the way that is done, we're going to start in our front stance. And we're actually going to turn towards our back leg like we would any normal spin. And we put our weight on our front leg, and it's actually an advancing technique. So I'm going to come closer.
Now we're going to do
Back fist. Okay, let me show you this way so you can see what it looks like. So our chambers, we're going to turn towards the back leg, but the weight goes here. That way we can go forward. Step through back fist. Just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it a couple times just to get the idea. And you'll find if you spin too fast, you're going to lose your balance for this particular one because it starts from the back essentially and then has to land in the front. So if you spin too fast, you won't be able to stop yourself and you'll stumble or even fall over if you know, are particularly clumsy like I am sometimes. So let's give it a try. So start in the front stance, chamber the arms, turn, back and see. I messed up because I stepped 2 times. Try again. Chamber, turn, back fist. There you go. Try it out about 4 times or so each side, just for balance sake. So make sure everything's even. Back fist. Yes. Just realized you guys can't see my face. Let me go play it. Now make sure we're chambering, and then we don't undo the chamber until we're almost finished with the spin. So we're gonna be here, I'm gonna be turning, and then when I get about right here, boom, is when I throw it out. Right there. Perfect. I like that. Can't forget this.
Traditionally for a back stance, what we're going to do today is the left hand will be flat, facing upwards.
And that's the idea. Make sure we're landing in a front stance. That's probably the hardest part about doing a spinning back fist in this style, because we want to land kind of in a neutral position with both of our knees bent so we can hold our base. But having to straighten out the back leg and lean forward can make it hard. I mean, I've been doing this a very long time, and I still mess up doing that. And that's okay. Lock out that back leg. Lock it, lock it, lock it. There you go. Okay. All right, so from here, moving on, that looks good, okay? Now let me show you how the spear hand and the spinning back fist go together, okay? Because this is how it works in the form. So for this, I'll need a volunteer from the studio audience. I'm just kidding, it's Mr. Barrett, he's coming. Volunteers as tribute.
I volunteer tribute.
All right, so from here, what happens is, let's say we go and we do that spear hand against that big, mean, scary, ugly, smelly, bad guy, right? But he's faster than we are able to react. So he catches our hand, like so. He catches it, and you're like, oh, uh-oh. Well, what do I do from here? So what's going to happen is I'm going to take this hand that I tried to spear with. I'm going to turn it to where it's going to make it easier for me to pull it out of his hand. So I turn, I'm going to pull it out, come in with my spinning back fist that way. So that's how it works in kind of a real life situation. Okay, step through, it doesn't work, so I'm going to turn, pull, step in. So if you have, mom, dad, sister, brother, somebody around, you can do it that way where they grab your wrist and working on twisting it over, because that is a very important detail later on in the form, because we will need to see that. and then you go into the back fist. If not, practice it on your own. That's fine. Step through. Imagine they grabbed it, turned it over, and spin. Okay. Give it a try. Give it a try. So again, doing kind of more full speed split hooks. Step through.
I wasn't gonna catch that for a second there.
You would think after about 17 years I'd have more control. Sometimes it slipped up. All right, give it a try. Let me see.
Especially when I'm in the work.
So step through, spear hand. Step all the way through. Other foot. Should be same foot, same hand. Yes. Now from there, turn it over. Spit. That's right. Yeah. And then perfect. And yes, the arms will have to switch positions. It makes it awkward. And I'm glad you figured that out. Usually it takes people a long time to figure out that they don't do a back fist from underneath. That feels weird, actually.
Oh yeah.
It gives me chills. Try it again. Boom. Turn the wrist over. Here, turn. Up the other way. This way. This way. Yep. Now pull and back fist. And yes, you will have to switch arm positions to get it on the top. Try to make that as fluid as you can. I know it's difficult because it's okay, I gotta turn this over, I gotta pull it, and then I have to switch positions, and I gotta turn, and I make sure I don't go too far, and then I gotta. It's fine. Do the best you can. You had it right the first time. One more time, let me see, and then we'll move on. Spear hand, turn the wrist the other direction, ma'am. That way. Yeah, going this way is unnatural. You want a natural turn of the wrist. Turn, switch arm positions. Yeah. That's it. All right, so from here, moving on. Now let's actually get in to this form. Let's actually put everything together. So just kind of explain here the definition of Dosan. It's the shortest one. Actually, hold on. No, it's not. It's the second shortest definition. Third. I'm looking at them all here. It's the third shortest definition, actually. Just by a couple words. But anyway, here it is. Dosan is the pen name for the Korean patriot An Chang-ho, who dedicated his entire life to furthering the education of Korea in its independence movement. So basically, he was kind of like a Korean, who would you compare him to on the American side? Independence movement, maybe like Martin Luther King, possibly, or Theodore Roosevelt, something like that, yeah. Something along those lines. So that was very, very easy. Should be easy to catch up with. Now, let's talk about how it starts. Junbi stands for this form. Your feet are shoulder-width apart, and it is just a normal Junbi position. Okay? Just like we start regular class. Then from here, I'm going to take my left foot, stepping out to the left side into a front stance, outer forearm block. Other hand, reverse punch. And then we're going to repeat on the other side. So we're going to step our feet together, chambering this arm now on the bottom. Step to the other side, outer forearm block. Reverse punch. So let's just start with just those 4 movements, and then we'll continue on.
Sir.
We'll do about maybe 8 moves today. All right, so again, I'm thinking I'm going right. Junbi.
Okay.
Outer forearm block.
Now let's go ahead and jump into the wall sit.
Punch.
I already do wall sit for a minute.
Other side. Outer forearm block. Punch. Back to Jimmy. Do it a couple times just to make sure, and then we'll move on. I'm gonna open this up so we can see.
Wall sits. And yeah.
So going to the left side, and that one chamber's on the bottom. Yeah. Boom. On the bottom. Yup. 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 Boom. Boom. Okay. One more time. Step out our forearm block. Reverse punch. Chamber on the bottom. Oh, nope. Had it right the first time, August. That way. Yes. Out our forearm block. Punch. Yes. Okay. Fairly simple, yes? Yes? Okay. So now, moving on, adding a couple more movements in there. So here, starting back from the beginning,
Sir.
and we're going to add a few things to this. So outer forearm block, punch, other side, outer forearm block, punch. Now from here, we're going to do a double 9-hand block coming to the front. So we're going to reach backwards over the left shoulder, or not left shoulder, right shoulder. Stepping forward with our left foot, just like so, into a back stance, double 9-hand block. Now, because you're a black belt, we'll go one more move. So from here, we're going to take this hand, hey, mommy, give me money, step through, spear hand. Okay. So let's add just those 2 movements in, and then we only have about 2 more, and that's where I want to stop for today.
Sir. I think that's how counting works. You were asking, I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
it's a notorious thing martial artists don't know how to count to 10. I've had lots of instructors, and I don't know what it is. Something about counting between 1 and 10, and somehow something just gets messed up, and now I do the same. Yes, I know. I'm not saying any names.
I know.
I'm just saying I know I can't count to 10, and I've had other instructors say, struggle with that as well. They forget where they are, or they just start back at 1. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right, Jimmy, stand.
Sir.
All right, and doing the other side. Ready? 1, out form block. Punch. Other side. Punch. Now reaching back, step forward. Double 9-hand block. On money, step through. Spear hand. Okay. Let's see if we can see you do that 1 time. Or maybe 2 times. And then we'll add 2 more moves. Be done with that section.
Yeah.
Okay. Side, good. And the other side, nice. Perfect. Yes. Yes. Saw you stumbled your feet a little bit there. You just trying to stay in the middle of the camera, or did we trip? You're staying in the middle? Yes, okay. Just wanted to make sure. All right, that looks good. Looks good. This form is fairly simple.
I'm ready. I'm here.
Now let's talk about the next 2 movements. This is when we get into the spin. So starting back at the beginning, so outer forearm block, punch. Other side, punch. Reach back, step forward, double 9-hand block, spear hand. Now they've grabbed your arm, so we're going to twist. This arm goes on the top, we're going to spin, back fist. And then finish, we just step forward and do another back fist. And that's the end of the section that I want to do. It's not the end of the form, though.
No.
Form has 24 movements. We only did 8.
So there's, some left.
Some left, yes.
Yes. I was about to say a wrong number, so I caught myself.
All right. So I'm here one more time.
Sir.
I get ahead of myself,
Oh,
like I know I often do.
it's okay.
Jimmy, stance one more time with us, and then we'll see if we can get you through that part. So we got a challenge, and then, Alrighty. So stepping to the outside, out of forearm block. Punch. Either side. Punch. Reach back, step forward, double 9-hand block. Spear hand. Turn. This one goes on top, chamber, spinning through, back fist. Quick little tip here. If you find that you can't control the spin, as you land, try as best you can to squeeze your core and grip the floor with your toes. It should help stop you. Not guaranteed it's going to work. So back fist. And step through, back fist. All right, real quick before I watch it, anything going over your head? We're going too fast? Any questions? No? Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. Let me know if I'm going too fast or it's something you don't understand. All right, let's try that one more time. Go from there. Got it. Boom. Boom. Yep. Bam. There we go. The hardest part is that spin with the spinning back fist, having to switch your arm position. But I find once you turn this, go ahead and flip the arms. That way you don't have to worry about it. Does that make sense? That way you don't end up with this one on the top and this one on the bottom. Then when you have to flip it when you get there. My arm is nowhere near.
I know, but I know in you there might be one time where you just do that. Yeah.
All right. So from here. If I can find my timer. There it is. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get into a little challenge here. So we're gonna do a wall sit challenge, okay? I've done this twice already today. So I'm gonna sit this one out. Well, it's a minute and 42 seconds. Okay, so find a wall. I don't know if I would suggest going up against that door there, but maybe that little wall space in between that window and the door on the other side, possibly. You know, that might work. So once you find somewhere, I'll start the timer. Do you know what I'm talking about, right? So if you look to your right, August, you see that little wall right there in between the window and the back door? Or there, wherever, as long as you have space for your knees. You can come up. If you're confused, you can ask me a question. That's fine. Come here. August, come here. Unmute yourself. Talk to me. What's going on? You look confused.
I don't know where to go right now.
Okay, so do you see that little bit of wall space between the door and that window? No. Over more. Over more. All the way past the door. Other side. Where there's a little white something on the wall. There. I feel like that wall will probably be a better idea for you to lean up against for the wall set. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, so minute 42. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Begin. So let me hit it. There we go. Back nice and straight. If you really want a challenge, you can get a book and put it on your knees and see if you can hold it there without it sliding off. I know one of our other students, she does that.
Yeah.
Puts a book on her
I
knees.
think I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Not doing well. Got a minute, 12 seconds left. It's going to go by faster than you think. So again, kind of reading the definition here of Dosan. Not Dasani water. Dosan.
You get what I'm
I
coming
really,
from, though.
I don't actually. All right, so Dosan, 24 moves. Dosan is the pen name or nickname for the Korean patriot An Chang-ho, who dedicated his entire life, so his whole life, to furthering the education of Korea and its independence movement. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this was during the period where the Japanese were kind of taking over the Japanese-Korean War, so it completely makes sense.
Yeah.
Where actually, that's probably where most of this pops through. 13 seconds. All right, 3, 2, 1, time. Woo! You did it. Next time we'll get Ella to sit on your knees. Not you, Miss Haynes. I'm talking her younger sister. Her younger sister is also named Ella.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. That's pretty much all I have for you today. Any questions, comments, concerns?
No.
No? All right. Well, you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you next time on the mat. Bye.
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 Bye, Nathan. Oh, he's gone.